We're a week away from the Code conference. I know the political and regulatory angle is going to factor in there. What are your thoughts on this possible incursion by the DOJ?
Well, you know, we've been talking about this for a long time, that this is going to start happening. And I think it's not clear what's going to happen yet, so let's just wait for a second to see what's going on. Because Google has undergone a lot of investigations, most of which in the United States it's sailed out of, pretty much. And a ton in Europe and a ton around the globe. So just keep that in mind. And many years ago, if you recall, 10 years ago, actually, in 2008, the FTC was looking at it, and there was and subsequent investigations. So I think I'd like to wait to see which one is going to stick. But right now, this DOJ investigation will obviously look at its power across a lot of things, probably in search and some other areas. In some other areas, they're not as powerful. But I think we'll figure out which part they're looking at again and what the remedies they're thinking about.
It's unclear, isn't it, what the theory of the case might be this time around. It'll be different from some of these others. We know that the likes of Yelp have complained about the way search is organized, Google placing its own properties prominently in search results. And we've heard Google's arguments about that being consumer friendly, even if it's not competition friendly. But has anything around the concerns about use of data changed the conversation here, you think?
Well, I think Facebook changed everything. The Cambridge Analytica thing has gotten, as we've talked about a lot, has gotten the attention of regulators, not just here in this country, but across the globe. And compared to other regulators, the U.S. has been very light on everything in terms of regulatory issues, in terms of antitrust action, not since Microsoft, except for somebody questioning mergers, but they haven't really questioned mergers. They let them through. You know, pretty much. Facebook's been able to buy Instagram and WhatsApp. Google hasn't been as acquisitive, but it's been a pretty good time for tech. And now we're going to see where the newer violations might be or what they're considering, because a lot of this stuff around Yelp, this is not new and this has not been investigated before.
Kara, even if official investigations aren't opened here, just the fact that there is increased scrutiny, you are seeing reports like this, more headlines. It seems like we are talking about this on a daily basis and have been for quite a while now. Would you still expect to see companies like Google making changes in the meantime?
I don't know about that. I'm not sure they will necessarily. And you have to also keep in mind there's other competitors that are now able to press the government on these things, like Oracle Oracle or Yelp or anybody else that's in competition with these companies. And I don't say these should be investigations done to see what's going on in the market in the period since last time they investigated. And I think, to me, the robust investigations never really took place. And that's why we are where we are now, that this is increasing, and especially with all the controversy around social media and everything else. I don't know if necessarily any of them will do anything in order to stop this train, but it's a train that's moving towards them. And they need to probably do their own lobbying back to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it bears mentioning, of course, it's a monumental undertaking for the government to actually begin a case against any enormous technology company, which has incredible resources as well, which to mount a defense. Kara, I'm curious as to your point of view, whether or not, or of Amazon, Facebook, or Alphabet, which you think is most likely to face and or should face antitrust action from the DOJ?
You know, you would think it would be Facebook, given all the controversy around them and all the different obvious violations. Every day it seems that something else goes wrong over there relating to a lot of things. But I would imagine probably Google would be the one that is probably, it's sort of been off to the side and sort of escaped a lot of the scrutiny. Except for YouTube, which is, we'll have Susan Wojcicki at Code next week, so we'll be talking about some of this. I would think Google, given its enormous market power in search and other places. Amazon, I don't know. They have arguments that they make that they're not the biggest retailer by any stretch, but they do dominate e-commerce. So I think Amazon's probably the third, and I'm not really clear which between Facebook and Google would be more scrutinized.